It ultimately will take advantage of new emerging formats like mobile, all in one easy to use system. So we are, in a word, I guess in a phrase, we're trying to revolutionize the online advertising industry. And I know that's a lofty goal, but that really is our goal. And we're trying to do it by trying to take the headaches out of the process that exists today. One of the things that has occurred to us is that when you look at all the systems that are out there today, the legacy systems are based on internally managed IT systems. What our new platform will do is it's basically web-based, a hosted application, and the idea is to leverage the power of all of the participants in the industry in a very native and easy-to-use way. And it's a hard thing to talk about, but the best analogy we can come up with in terms of what it will be able to do and what it will feel like is what the DVR industry did to the VCR industry. It's hard to explain in advance of using TiVo just what that experience is like and how it changes your life, but that's what we're trying to do is create that kind of experience to what exists today. So with that, let me just give you a couple of examples of how it could affect each of the members of the ecosystem. So for a publisher, can you imagine being able to distribute an advertiser's campaign and target it across not only your audience, but across other publishers with like audiences? Imagine how you could improve your yield if you could do that. There are some legacy systems that allow cross-selling today, but they're very, very impractical because the publisher can only use their own advertisers and their own inventory. They can't take advantage of the power of others. Our new system should allow publishers to be able to package, sell, and distribute advertising across their own site and across other sites. From an advertiser, what would you do with a system that would take the complexity out of ad generation, assembly, trafficking, and serving? This process is so time-consuming today. It's not uncommon for an advertiser to have to enter their campaign half a dozen times in existing systems. The existing systems are not designed around today's objective of reaching your audience anywhere it is on the web. They're based around achieving and targeting one publisher's inventory. We recently had our newspaper consortium out, which represents more than 500 newspapers, and will be the first customers to benefit from some of the features of the system. And we showed them what we had, and one of them remarked that Yahoo is making ad operations sexy. So we figured that was the highest compliment because we all know how complicated ad operations are today. For agencies, how valuable would it be to have a system and a platform that streamlines the buying process? Imagine not having to repeat entry into multiple different campaigns and orders and being able to free yourself to focus on campaign optimization and testing. Today, that is virtually impossible with the systems that exist today. And then finally, for ad networks, can you imagine being able to connect your publishers with a much broader array of advertisers, which ultimately increases the reach and power for both advertisers and publishers in a network. Today, that is extraordinarily difficult without an open platform that simplifies the process. So from any perspective, whether it's advertisers, publishers, networks, agencies, we feel this new system will be the backbone of making life easier, of decreasing complexity, of decreasing redundancy, which fundamentally increases the ability to focus on creative, focus on getting to the right audiences at the right time, the right place on the internet, and leverages the power of that ecosystem in a way we've never gotten to. Too much time today is spent on the boring parts of the business, and not enough time is spent on the really creative and powerful parts of what the internet can do. So we just wanted to assure you that we're very, very focused on these questions. We're trying to make the internet easier from an online perspective, and ultimately, we believe this system will help all of us get to the next level of engagement with our target audiences and be able to leverage the real power of the internet. So with that, I'm going to sit down and I guess invite Randall back up to the stage. Thank you.
So,
I abandoned this.
No. I would have been here. I would have been very quiet. So before you start, let me guess what your first question. Does it start with an N and with a T? No, it actually starts with an N and ends with an N. Okay. Yeah. Like,
This is a game show, by the way.
I understand. Do I get $1 million after this?
I mean, come on, everybody wants to know. Well, I'll tell you, I thought it was probably, you know, I didn't see the World War II, but it was probably one of the shortest wars that I didn't remember recently. But
God bless.
yeah.
Hey, everybody actually is
Curious.
curious. So why don't
I'll hit that on the head. I mean, obviously, I think we can't say a whole lot about the process we're going through, and I think everybody's read just about everything that we're doing, so I'm not sure all what I had. But we are very focused. Obviously, we're taking the proposal that Microsoft has submitted to us very seriously. We have made a public statement about why we've not accepted the proposal, given that it substantially undervalues what Yahoo does. But in many ways, I think it's been a galvanizing event for all of us at Yahoo. Our board, which is a very strong board and very independent board, and I are spending a lot of time understanding all of our alternatives. Look, I think Yahoo is a very unique asset. I'm a little biased, and I think it's something that we need to think through carefully. And what's been interesting is also the industry response. I think the number of people who talks to us about what this could mean for the industry, what this could mean for the dynamics of what we're talking about today, in either direction, whatever outcome. Really, I think, first of all, gives me a lot of encouragement, because I do think that making sure where Yahoo goes is the right place for not only our employees and our partners and our clients, but ultimately our shareholders. That's my number one job. So I'm heads down. I didn't know whether I could make it here today, but I'm actually quite glad to be in Phoenix and not stuck in the office in the conference. So I'm very grateful to be here, and actually I think it's a great time to talk about these issues.
Yeah, we're really, really appreciative that given how busy you are, that both of you really did agree to come. Let me ask you, actually, relative to that, a takeover bid like this quadruples your workload, at least. How do you guys, this is a personal question, how do you maintain focus during something like this? How do you subdivide your time?
Well, I don't know if it's possible to quadruple our workload, but I do think that obviously it initiates a process, and it's a process that I think is fairly well described through all the different corporate situations of the past. So that does mean that I end up spending a lot more time with our board and our key constituents, and I think that's the time I'm spending doing. We've asked Sue to really do a lot more of the day-to-day, making sure that we continue to run smoothly. And one of the interesting things, and I think Sue can comment on this as well, is that this has been one of those quarters at Yahoo that I think one of the first quarters at Yahoo that I remember where we have just tremendous things happening, all the way starting from January, where we announced a series of very exciting products, to what we've done in the mobile front in Barcelona, to our acquisition of Maven, there's just a lot of things that's going on. And so people are definitely busy without us meddling in them, but I do think that, Sue, maybe you can comment a little bit on this, on the progress we're making, and your focus and your heads down on keeping business going.
Sure. Yeah, I'd say that anytime you have something like this, it's clearly going to affect employees. People are going to ask questions. There's clearly a big impact of that. But in a way, it's been a galvanizing force and a catalyst internally and also externally. There's a lot of discussions we've always had underway, but having an offer on the table certainly accelerates some of those conversations that are out there. From a day-to-day business perspective, one of the things we're so excited about is we spent the last couple of years, when we embarked upon our current challenge, we recognized it was a multi-year opportunity, and that we spent a lot of time with some catch-up with the Panama system and some of the innovation that we're doing in algorithmic search, and cleanup of some old business deals that were very competitive at the time that they were struck, but the market conditions changed, and we have struck those deals with very, very happy partners for the future. What's exciting about now is that the largest percentage of our R&D dollars ever is going into more innovative proprietary products, both on the consumer side to support